didn't see you there. Would you guys like to set sail on this ocean of flavor with me? I'll be your captain. I'm Steve Harrington.
And I'm Collin.
And I'm Whitney, and this is Scoops Ahoy, a Stranger Things podcast where we go week by week, chapter by chapter, taking a look at every single episode of Stranger Things. We have now made it through all 4 seasons and every single episode, and we are slowly fading away in the deep, dark void as we wait for season 5. And I saw someone say, and maybe it was in the Discord, say that they were like afraid it was going to come out in 2028. And
I joked about it in the last episode.
Oh,
I said,
that's
who
what
knows? Could be 27, could be 28. Yeah, but I think Caden was saying, yeah, I was born when it started and I'll die when it ends, or whatever. I started school and I graduated. Yeah, yeah.
It feels that way. Yeah. So I don't know. I haven't heard.
I mean, these kids are going to look so old when we come back. I mean, I don't know if they're going to have to like rewrite some stuff now or something. I mean,
I've wondered that too. Like, I don't know if they're going to do like a bigger time jump to make it more believable, because
every day I see a different picture of Millie. She looks older and older and older, and I'm sure, good Lord, I'm sure Caleb is looking old. He looked old in season 4.
Oh,
so
yeah, he's the oldest out of the little ones.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Steve is literally going to be 30.
Probably, yeah.
In his 30s by the time it comes out.
Yeah. And there's still no real end to the writer's strike in sight. I mean, I think we just passed like day 130 or something like that.
I thought that there was going to be like negotiations or something.
Yeah. I mean, the latest
they were in talks.
I looked up a couple days ago and they were saying, I mean, both sides are saying, yeah, ball's in your court, so each side's waiting for the other to do something. But I also saw that the union has agreed or is thinking about agreeing to negotiating with individual studios instead of the Producers Guild as a whole, or the producers, whatever they are, the Producers Association or whatever. So I don't know, maybe that'll get things going, because if, the Writers Guild strikes a deal with, Universal, then maybe Paramount will, we need to
follow suit. But I mean, I keep waiting for, there's just nothing on TV right now anyways, but but it usually, it's usually slow over the summer, and we wait till the fall. And there's a couple things like American Horror Stories coming out. There's a new show on Apple called The Changeling, which I watched a few episodes of. It's really good.
Okay.
So there's that, but I feel like we're about to get an onslaught of reality TV. Stupid reality TV, because it doesn't require writers.
Well, I saw, the late night host started up a podcast called like Strike Force 5, I think, and it's Fallon and Kimmel and Colbert and John Oliver.
Fallon has not had a good week.
No. Fallon, Kimmel, Colbert, John Oliver, and Seth Meyers have a podcast, and the 5 of them just sit around chatting about whatever. So, but
that's kind of how we got Smartless during the pandemic.
Yeah, true.
I mean, it's like one of my favorite podcasts now.
Yeah, it's good. But
Fallon, it did not. But I have had suspicions for a while that he has a drinking problem.
Oh, okay.
He has the most random injuries all the time.
Oh, like his finger thing? Yeah.
Yep. He was drunk. I bet money. I would bet money all that time, all those different times he was drunk. And then I was listening to a TikTok, and this girl was a stage manager, and she said that she used to work at his cabaret club. Like, I guess it was short-lived. It was like a comedy cabaret type thing. And her exact words were that he kept ski chalet hours.
Okay.
Like he goes skiing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
With John Mulaney. And him and John Mulaney hung out. So I was like, yep. Yeah. So poor Fallon. He's not, I hope that's not true, because I've always liked him. I really don't want those to be true. But if he drinks a lot, like, that could easily cause a very erratic personality. Yeah. So we'll see. Sorry, I got off on a tangent.
No, that's fine. Yeah. We got not a whole lot to talk about before we start Nancy Wheeler.
Yeah, we've got Nancy Wheeler this week. We're doing a deep dive into her character. And, the more I thought about it, the more I'm kind of meh on Nancy Wheeler.
Yeah, that's kind of surprising to me when you said that. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I just am like, there's not a whole lot where I'm like, yeah, like I'm thought that. Now I thought when she like shot Vecna in
right.
season 4 was pretty badass, but
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm just kind of like, I don't know.
Is it because of the whole Stancy Jancy thing and that whole mess?
I don't think it has anything to do with that. And I actually like the actress. I like Natalia Dyer.
Yeah.
I loved her in Velvet Buzzsaw. Like, I think she's adorable. It's just the character. Maybe I wish they gave her more to do or more action scenes. Maybe I don't know. Like, she was. I really didn't like how she was kind of snotty to Robin in season 4 until they became friends. Remember?
Yeah.
She was just kind of. I'm like, where do you get off? Like,
I mean, going back and watching
friends with Barb.
Going back and watching season 1 too, when she's just so mousy and so meek and so
and it just doesn't fit. Like, how did she and Steve meet? Like, I'm assuming in class, but like she doesn't have the personality really to draw anyone in. So it had to be, he was attracted to her, but I'm just kind of like, I could Nancy's, I could take her or leave her.
Sure. I like her. But yes, she's not one of my favorites by any stretch, but I like her overall. So don't really know a whole lot about her, background and stuff. Obviously, I mean, Stranger Things Wikia, suggested maybe she was born around 1967, somewhere in there, just because of the ages, and when she was in school. So she would have been 15 or 16 in season 1, and then obviously up through like 17 or 18 in season 4. We know her dad's Ted. We know her mom's Karen, brother Mike, sister Holly. She was Barb's friend and was really the only girlfriend that Nancy has at any point during the show, if you don't count Robin. Started out as, Steve's boyfriend, and then obviously moved on to Jonathan. Line distribution wise, she's been doing okay for herself. She had the second most number of lines in season 1 with 346 lines. And
I'm shocked her season 2 number is so low.
Yeah, season 2 was 183 lines. She was number 7, and she was also number 7 in season 3 with 210 lines, so she got a little bit more. And then season 4, she got even more. She's at 286 lines, which made her number 3. So she actually has the 4th most lines overall if you add them all together for all 4 seasons, with 1,025 lines. And yes, somebody actually did count. So,
wow. Nothing shocks me anymore.
It was not me, but thank you, Reddit. So we talked about Natalia Dyer, plays Nancy Wheeler. She was born January 13th of 1995. Her first role was as little baby Clarissa in the Hannah Montana movie in 2009, which is just adorable. I'll see if I can find a clip and put that up somewhere.
She was little in that?
Well, she was young. I mean, she was, I would say she.
Oh, I thought you meant like she was like a baby. I'm like,
no, I mean, she was 13, 14, somewhere in there.
Gotcha.
Math, but yeah. She's gone on to do far more movies than TV. She's done somewhere like 20, 25 movies somewhere there. You mentioned Velvet Buzzsaw. We've talked about Yes, God, Yes before. And she has been, get my mic. She has been dating Charlie Heaton since somewhere around 2006, somewhere in there. I think it was the fall of 2006 when they started kind of being public.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah. So we're going on 7 years. Kids. Yeah,
so I bet they get engaged soon.
Started dating when she was 21. So yeah. So
is he a lot older than her?
I don't know, actually. I was gonna look that up and I forgot to. So let's see. Charlie Heaton, British actor, was born in 94. I think he's almost a year, is about 11 months older, almost a year older than her. Yeah. He was born February of 94. So yeah.
She stayed with him through the Coke debacle.
And the pandemic
he got busted.
And everything else. Oh yeah. All kinds of
he got I mean, not that Indy is okay, but I think it was like a dusting. Like I think it was like not very much.
Yeah. So we went through and kind of plotted out our top 5 Nancy moments. I did most of the heavy lifting because, as you said, you were meh. But so I I put
Let's
together
be
a list.
honest, you do all the heavy lifting.
I put together a list and you said, okay, sure.
I show up.
Sure. So I put as number 5 in season 3, episode 8, when she's facing down Billy in the Starcourt Mall parking lot, when he's screaming at her in the car and she's standing there shooting, which I thought was just a really cool, badass moment. And I watched it again, and it's really great because she's just standing there and she's fierce. And the closer he gets, the more she stands there. And the only thing she does at the very end is she just kind of ducks out of the way. She's not even running. She's just kind of, and obviously gets saved. So number 4, I put diving in after Steve in season 4, when he went, in the dive episode, episode 6, when she just decided, I'm just going, I'm fully clothed in
which I
normal clothes and I'm just going in. So, yeah.
I know. And I want to say that I would do that if it was like someone I love, but I'm so terrified of like dark water.
Yeah.
Like I just like
I don't like, I mean, I'm okay with oceans and stuff, but lakes.
I'm not.
Keep me out because of the mud and the goo on the bottom of the ocean. But
oceans are way
stuff,
scarier.
I don't know. I can handle oceans. I mean, as long as I'm not like way out. I mean, if I can see land, I'm okay, but I don't want to be like out in the middle of the ocean or anything. But then I'd be.
No, I don't even going past like my shins. I'm looking at this like poster I have of the dive and like it. I don't know. I don't think I could. I don't know. I guess if it was Mike or Evie, I would definitely like dive in after him. But your adrenaline probably I would have to be pumping.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was night too, which is even worse because you don't even know what you're going into. Yeah.
Yeah.
All you see is like a little red glow and Steve's down there somewhere. Yeah.
Yes. And like you don't have like goggles or anything to see. Ooh.
Nope.
Ooh. Terrible.
Number 3, I went with shooting Vecna in the Creel house in the last episode of season 4, which is just so badass.
Yep.
She just pumps the shotgun and shoots him 5 times. And the thing that I really liked is how she walked toward him. She's not like taking shelter behind a shed or a bench or anything. She's just like walking toward him.
It makes me think that her attitude is like, I am just so over this man. Like I am so over this thing. Like I just want to live a normal life.
Right. Yes.
Just like, please let this be the end of it.
I have a gun. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Number 2, the kinder, gentler side of Nancy. I went with the snowball and going up to Dustin and saying, "You want to dance?" Which I thought was just so sweet and so nice and showed a different side of her, obviously, because, she was kind of, getting badass at that point. And, saying, of all my brother's friends, you're my favorite and, that kind of stuff, which I thought was just really sweet and cute. And then number 1, I went with
this is my favorite Nancy moment.
The scene in season 2, episode 8, when they're all in the house and the demo dogs or whatever is coming. Nobody knows what's going on and everybody's kind of rallying and Hopper has a shotgun and a machine gun and he looks at Jonathan and says, do you know how to use this or whatever? And Jonathan's just like sitting there, like twiddling his thumbs. And Nancy goes, I can. And he tosses the gun to her. And she, so
she just grabs it. Like,
it's just so good. It was just such a great thing. So those are my top 5. And we had a couple, obviously people talk about them in the emails. So, we can certainly get into those, but anything else you want to talk about Nancy wise before we get rolling?
No, I mean, I think Nancy she often gets what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of like cornered into like this whole ship war with Steve and Jonathan. I think that's what most people think about Nancy, which is kind of why I'm not sure I'll be mad if they're like, no, she's just going to go off and do her own thing. Like Nancy's just going to go be on her own. Like, I don't think it'll bother me. And usually I'm all about like everybody living their happily ever after. But for Nancy, I'm kind of like, I don't know. She just seems like I love Steve and Nancy together, but Nancy's a little too good for Steve. I mean,
kind
of a little bit. Like,
it's the
I don't know.
It's kind of what you were saying that I always, whenever something like that comes up, I always think of Kelly Taylor in Beverly Hills 90210 and the scene where she was trying to choose between Brandon and Dylan and they gave her the ultimatum and she's like, I choose me.
I choose me.
I just always think of that whenever there's like a love triangle and the woman just like, screw both of you. It's just me. I choose me.
Yeah.
Brandon, I can't accept this. Wait. Please. Dylan, have a nice trip. I can't go with you. Not this time. I've made my choice, and I choose me. I hope you understand. I'll love you both till the day I die.
Well, it's not a bad idea, but yeah, that's it. So, are you ready to dive into some emails?
Let's do some emails. Sure.
All right. Our first one this week is from Eve. She says, "Hey, Colin and Whitney, hope everything's going okay. We had a heat wave over in the UK right as I started sixth form, and it's so hot every day. It doesn't feel normal. Anyways, here are my thoughts on Nancy Wheeler. She cares so much about Mike, and I feel like if anything ever happened to him, she would blame herself because deep down she feels more like a parent to him than Karen or Ted. Look at how she beat herself up over Barb. That caring quality makes her character willing to fight anything to protect the one she loves. She's also one of a few select characters who doesn't rush into things without thinking them through first. When you add that to the fact that she's a killer shot with a gun, you have one of the greatest characters in the series. Thanks for your hard work on the podcast in the deep dark void. Till next time, Eve from the UK."
Thank you,
Yep.
Eve. Next one's from Mina. "Hi, Colin and Whitney. I hope you're both having a great day. My name is Mina, and this is my first time emailing in. I'm from Germany and apologize for any spelling mistakes. In school, we barely learn any English at all and never write anything, which means my English is not that good, at least my writing. But it's actually pretty good, Mina.
I think it's good. I think it's great. I mean, I can't speak any German, so
Ein, zwei, drei.
I don't even know those.
Yep. Here's my opinion on Nancy Wheeler. I remember watching Stranger Things for the first time ever. It happened that my parents were watching with me. I remember my parents not really liking Nancy, so I guess I didn't like her either. I vaguely remember liking Mike a lot, but I was so annoyed at her for ignoring Barb at the party and getting with Steve. But then again, I was so sorry for her losing Barb to an interdimensional monster and blaming herself for it. In my opinion, she has good character development, and I definitely liked her in season 4 a lot more than in season 1. I like that she went from a straight A student to a badass and iconic character. I think there is something to her that we just do not know yet. Like, why did Vecna Henry 1 show her what was going to happen in season 4? Why her, and why not just kill her? We already know that he does not care for other people's feelings and never shows mercy, but for Nancy, he does. I just think that's a bit dodgy. I think it's just so she could go back and
Have a way to
spread the message. I mean, to tell them what was going on, I think. So I don't know why her specifically, other than she was the last one to go through and she was, she was kind of left there. So, by the way, do you guys know anything new about the strike? I know they originally planned to start filming in June, but because of the strike, they'd hoped for August. I really do not want to wait another 2 years. Thank you for all your hard work making a great podcast. Hope you have wonderful lives packed with adventure and joy. Best wishes, your faithful listener, Mina. Yeah, we talked about the strike a little bit. I know. I mean, every day that goes by, I think we're definitely looking at 2025 for this thing. Because I mean, we're nearing, kind of the end of 2023. They haven't even started yet. So you figure, I mean, you got to do 6-8 months of filming and 6-8 months of post work. So we're probably,
I think mid 2025.
Yeah, early mid 2025, somewhere in there. Ugh.
Which is awful because will that be another 3 years? I guess between seasons.
Yeah.
It's 2019 to 2022, right?
Yeah.
Season 3 was 2019.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because last summer. So it was was it last summer? God, it was last summer, wasn't it? 2022.
Yeah.
So it'd be another almost 3 years. Yeah. And the kids,
I hate it.
And the kids are growing exponentially. I mean, it's one thing to go from season 1 to season 2 or season 2 to season 3, and they get a little bit older, but now they're just getting so much older so quickly and maturing so quickly. It's just,
it's all, I don't know what they're going to do, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I really don't with the story. Like, they're just,
I wonder if they just kind of keep going with they got to know that they got to get going. They can't, unless, they can't be writing during the strike. So, they could be thinking about it, but they can't be actually writing anything.
Well, they were done.
Yeah. But I don't know if they were going to go back and have to rewrite something
with rewrites.
So.
Yeah. Like, but what's to stop them from just writing in their homes and then just when the strike ends being like, here's what I've got. Like,
oops.
What's this?
Yeah. Nothing.
Would that be considered
it's considered, breaking the strike or breaking the, union busting or whatever. But
how would they know? How do they know they didn't think it all up?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it could be, they could just sit there and, think it all out in their heads. And
maybe who's seen maybe nobody will know that they were writing anything different because it was already written,
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. I hate thinking about it. I'm tired of thinking about it.
Okay. Next email.
All right. Our next email is from Quinn. She says, "Hey, Colin and Whitney, it's Quinn. When Colin joked that season 5 might not come out till 2028, that made me realize something. If and only if that happened, which I pray that it doesn't, that would mean that Stranger Things came out basically when I started school and it would end the year I graduated. That means it would come out when Evie was in 6th grade and she will be a senior in college.
Yeah.
When she's done, it's done. No. It's just so weird that I haven't even started 8th grade, but I'll be in high school when it comes out. Anyways, Nancy Wheeler, I don't like her. I know that I said this about Karen, and honestly, I have no great reasoning, but I just don't like her. I don't like Mike either. The only Wheelers I like are Ted and Holly, and I think they need more screen time. Also, I think Nancy's too good for Jonathan, but I think Steve is too good for Nancy. I would prefer that Nancy ended up with Steve, even though I highly doubt that will happen, because Steve is in love with her, and I love Steve, so it would be good for him. A few of the things I do love about Nancy are her hair throughout the seasons and her friendship with Robin. Hope everyone has a good day. Nancy does have good hair.
I was just going to say, she does have good hair. I like her season 4 hair when she has the kind of the black and white striped sweater, and it's kind of like frizzy and kind of short, but something.
Yeah.
Like that.
Is that season 4 or season 2?
I'm thinking season 4, like the scenes with Vecna when Vecna takes her.
Yeah. I was thinking of her at the Halloween party in season 2. She had short hair there too, I think.
Yes, she does. Yeah. She had it up with
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Quinn. Our next one is from Audrey. She says, "Hey, it's Audrey." Just kidding. She says, "Hey, it's Audrey. Here are my top 3 favorite Nancy moments. 1, when Mike asks if she's done some studying. Wink, wink.
Of anatomy.
2, when she shoots the mind flayer. Does she shoot Vecna?
Well, yeah, she said mind flayer, and I didn't know if she meant when she shot, because she shoots Vecna, and then she also obviously shoots the Demogorgon when she's telling Steve, you need to leave now.
That was your note.
That was my note. Yes, italics are my notes. Colin made a note. Did you mean Vecna or the Demogorgon? Because I couldn't remember.
Well, she shoots Vecna. I don't think she shoots. Well, no, she does shoot.
She shoots the Demogorgon when in season 1. I get them all confused. When Steve,
when it comes to the house.
Yes, right. Season 1, when Steve comes to the house and she's like, "You need to leave now," and Steve's like, "What's going on?" Yeah.
And then in season 2, she shoots at the either the Demodogs or the Demogorgon when Hopper throws her the gun.
That's true.
She's
Yeah.
Anyway,
so anyway,
we'll just say when she shoots at the villains.
Yeah.
That was such a girl boss moment, Audrey says.
It was.
Number 3, when she ripped the gun out of Jason's filthy hands at the army supply store. Yes. Yeah, that was good. Jason, oh man, we should do a deep dive on him. Just because
it wouldn't be very deep, but yes, we could certainly.
But just because I interviewed the actor who played him, and he was so nice and he was so funny about it, and he was like, "Listen, Jason's the worst." Like he said it. Like even he knew. He was like, "No, man, my character is dirt."
Yeah, that's funny.
Anyways, Audrey says, "I'm so glad y'all chose to do Nancy. Lots of love, Audrey."
All right, next one's from Harry, who we met in our Zoom call. It was great to meet you,
Harry.
Yeah, that was fun. Hey, Whitney and Collin, I hope you're enjoying the fall. I don't usually indulge in a lot of headcanon stuff, but I do with Nancy, and I'm always wrong. Aren't we all? In season 1, when she told Jonathan, "I don't think my parents ever loved each other," I was sure we were going to find out that Ted was not her biological father. Interesting. I thought we'd discover at some point that Karen had a boyfriend who split when she got pregnant, and Ted was a much older friend of the family who stepped in to marry her. I even thought that Nancy working at the newspaper in season 3 would bring her into contact with him in a "so how's your mother" sort of way. Never happened. No, it didn't. In season 2, I thought the show would make it clear that she was only dating Steve because he loved her and he had saved her life. Didn't she owe him that and more? But the show never went there. Personally, I think it's a shame that Natalia Dyer always appears on these interview shows and all anyone wants to talk about is which boy Nancy will kiss. She's making so many terrific choices in the show and she doesn't get credit for it. Nancy blasting away at Vecna with her shotgun and then finding cleaning supplies in Hopper's cabin shouldn't fit together so well, and yet they do. I couldn't admire the work she's doing more. Have a great September. I hope you have something cool lined up for the Halloween season. Best, Harry in Seattle. God, are we already talking about Halloween already? Yeah, it's close.
Evie put up all her Halloween decorations in her room today.
Yeah.
I think the reason that you get so much discourse about which boy she's gonna kiss is because this is a much younger fandom. Like it skews to the younger kids, and that's what they all love.
Yeah, I'm sure the interviewers are going on Instagram and TikTok and seeing what everybody's saying about Nancy Wheeler, and it's like,
I knew how to, like, if I was like low on, like, if I needed a boost in page views, I could just fire out a Byler versus 11 article, and it would just be like it would take off just because that's a lot of what they're talking about, just because they're younger.
Right. Yeah. And then my wife Holly wrote in with her top 5 Nancy being a badass moments. Number 1, diving in the lake after Steve. Number 2, going in the tree to look for Will in the Upside Down after they found the dead deer in the woods. Number 3, standing up to the bosses at the paper to pursue the story of Mrs. Driscoll and the rats. Number 4, standing up to Jason in the MO Emporium, the war zone. And then 5, anytime Nancy has a gun or other weapons to fight evil. And then Holly also added, they need to give Nancy a female friend, though, in my opinion. Why doesn't she have anyone? And Joyce doesn't have a female friend either. Kind of odd. All the male characters have good friends of the same gender. I mean, yeah, they did kind of.
I don't know why. I think they made Nancy kind of unlikable to other, Robin mentioned her being a priss, like, so maybe she was just a little, and she was kind of rude to Robin when they get together in season 4, like maybe she was just kind of snooty to him, and that's why. But I would like to see her have like a good friendship, like a female.
I know in like season 1, obviously, when she was, kind of the nerd and the academic or whatever, and she was friends with Barb. I can't imagine either of them having many more friends than each other, just based on, their personality and the standing in the school and that, that kind of thing.
And Joyce,
Barb's genes,
Yeah. Joyce not having any female friends. Again, I feel like Karen tried.
Yeah.
And
with the casserole, even brought a casserole over, for heaven's sake.
Brought a casserole, and I don't know. I like a good casserole, but Joyce is a lot. Like she's a lot.
Yeah.
Like you give Joyce a couple Xannies, and then I think that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's you just think of Joyce. She's so frazzled and
all the time. And I feel like she's that even before Will, like Will was missing, like with her keys and stuff. Like I feel like that's just how her life is. Just constant chaos. She's that person that that is just. There's always something happening.
Yeah, she's exactly who she is when she went up to her boss in Melville's and demanded her pay and the cigarettes and and the phone. I mean that's
a pack of Camels.
Yeah.
Okay, our next email is from my good buddy Harriet. She says, "Hey, Collin and Whitney, I'm so annoyed I couldn't be on the last episode, and I absolutely love The Last of Us, which we talked about. It's just scratched all of my apocalypse itches. It also kindled my newfound love of Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey as a duo. And now I've watched over 40 hours of gameplay on YouTube." Which is a thing that people do. And I didn't realize that.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it is a very good, it has like a.
I still haven't. I gotta watch it. I still haven't watched it. The show, not the game.
I didn't like the show that much. But what I'm saying is it has like a very detailed story.
Yeah.
To it. Now I did love Bella as the little queen, and
she was great. Mormont, yeah, she was so good.
Lady Mormont. And I kind of started reading Game of Thrones books, but I stopped halfway because it got a bit weird for me with all the Daenerys and Drogo bit. Listen, Harriet, I'm gonna step in as big sister here. Maybe your mother. I don't know, but put those books away. Okay. Yeah. You just put them away. Until you're in college.
Give it a good 10 years.
Maybe. Yeah.
I'm too young for these books. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. Well, I'll just say George R.R. Martin is a pervert. He's into some weird stuff. So you just put those books in your closet and save them and come back to them in about 10 years if you're still into that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So and do not watch the show. You're not allowed to watch it
Yeah,
either. I'm sorry.
my very adult neighbor is like Game of Thrones junkie and loves everything about it. And I watched the show with her because she had read all the books
Mhm.
and she was like, yeah, this and this didn't happen and this did happen and this should happen and this is some context for the, blah blah blah. And even she was saying, it's like, dear God, these books are a lot, and the show was even more. Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, if you notice, all the like very graphic scenes kind of fell off as much when they went past Martin's like writing.
Right. Yeah.
So it was like, oh, he was the one. That's where that was coming
from.
he
set up all the storylines of,
and that was
brothers and sisters getting together and all kinds of crazy. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you what to read instead, Harriet. Go get Throne of Glass. Okay. Read that instead.
Yeah. Great. Love that.
It's the same type of story, but it's more on for younger kids. I loved it. Like,
yeah. Great.
I'm in a major book hangover since I finished it.
Yeah. I mean, Gray's 16 and loved them. Yeah.
Yes, they're
17,
amazing.
17 now, but
they're amazing. And once you finish those, we'll talk about you maybe moving on to A Court of Thorns and Roses. Okay.
There you go.
But we'll have to see. Anyway, she says, I found it really icky. I couldn't handle the whole 13-year-old marrying a 30-year-old situation. So the twins didn't bother you? Yeah.
Who knows? Yeah.
Okay. I've also really recently finished Warrior Nun, which is kind of Stranger Thingsy. Collin, I feel like you would enjoy it and it has a great soundtrack. I tried it but I only watched one episode and maybe I was just like half paying attention. And
I haven't watched it either.
So maybe I should try it again.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot. Sure.
For Harriet. I started Justified because I haven't watched that and
I love Timothy Oliphant though. Yeah.
Have you watched it?
No, but I love him.
It's based like in Harlan, Kentucky. Like that's
really? Oh, I didn't know.
Yes, and it cracks us up because they always act like Harlan is like a 15-minute drive. They're always on Tate's Creek Bridge, which there's a Tate's Creek Road here in Lexington.
Yeah.
But I don't know about Tate's Creek Bridge. But they always act like it's like, they'll be like, I got to run to Lexington. Like it's like a 20-minute. It's 4 hours away. We are 4 hours from Harlan.
That's right.
Yes, I know several people from Harlan. Like, and it's funny because they brought up like the apple pie moonshine that they make, and I've had apple pie moonshine from Harlan, so it's kind of fun to see all the.
Sure, yeah.
Stuff. Anyway, she says, but on to Nancy Wheeler, probably one of my most liked characters of all time. I really liked her in seasons 1 and 2, but she kind of dropped in season 3 by getting Jonathan fired, which just pissed me off. But she rose back up in season 4 with her and Steve and Robin as a trio. I'm a firm Stancy shipper to the dismay of all my friends who are I'm actually shocked you're a Stancy shipper. I thought for sure you were a Jancy. I just think she and Steve have better chemistry and plot than Jonathan and Nance do. I didn't really get their relationship, to be honest. That's all I got. Love, Harriet. Yeah.
Thank you, Harriet.
I mean, I feel about like how he feels about the Wheelers is about how I feel about the buyers. All of them. I'm just like, man.
Yeah. All right. Next one's from Ronya. Ahoy, it's Ronya. I think Nancy's friendship with Robin in season 4 is great because she finally got another girlfriend after what happened to Barb in season 1. Her sibling relationship with Mike is worth mentioning as well, since that's basically how me and my siblings are. She's also incredibly brave when she's shooting at Billy in season 3 and Vecna in season 4. On another note, have you noticed the Steve parallel between season 1, episode 2 and season 3, episode 1? In season 1, he welcomes Barb and Nancy to his house at that night for the party by saying, hello, ladies. And in season 3, he says this to the girls at Scoops. Ahoy, ladies. And then it goes obviously into our little intro bit, which she said, I don't have to write out because it's your intro bit. Me and my best friend who watch Stranger Things crack up at this every time we watch this series and hear those lines. Also, I have a question for Whitney. Where can I find your articles about Stranger Things? I'd love to read them and see more of your work. Over and out, Ronya, Eleanor's Swedish relative. So
we can share a link. They're gonna you can find, if you Google just showbiz, show or cheat sheet, and then Whitney Danhauer, it'll bring up my article page. I don't work for showbiz anymore, but all my articles are still there. But the thing is you're gonna have to scroll to find the Stranger Things ones because we write them when it's popular. So it's been a year since.
Yeah, and you did
those
all
were
like
up.
the Bachelor and all the
Yeah, I did a lot like in the most recent ones, they had switched me to a lot of reality. So it's a lot of like Love is Blind, Perfect Match, things like that. And then we did like that whole summer, my coworker and like one of my best friends, Lauren, we did the Showbiz Pop 5, and a lot of those were Stranger Things focused. And you can find my interviews on, if you just go to Showbiz Cheat Sheets YouTube page, you can see all of them because they're all recorded.
Yeah, so I'll put a link up on our socials so people can to your whole page. So
yeah. All right, next up we've got Luca. Luca says, "Dear Collin and Whitney, how are you? I'm very sorry that I couldn't be a part of your Zoom, but hopefully you will do more. We plan on it. That's the goal anyways. You see, I just got back from camp. It was so much fun, and I made lots of friends who are Stranger Things fans, and I recommended this podcast." Well, thank you, Luca. Anyways, let's get to Nancy. I just love her. She is the best. She was kind of mean to Dustin in the first season, but she had a redemption in season 2 when she danced with him at the snowball. I think she's a real feminist. I really am not a Jancy guy, and I want her and Steve to get back together, but those darn duffers are in control. Just kidding. I love those guys. I think that in season 3, she had a beautiful talk with her mom after she lost her job. I just don't know what her and Karen did to their hair in season 4. I'll tell you, it was the 80s.
it was the 80s. The 80s did it to their hair. Yep.
And we all had one around that time.
Right.
P.S. Do you think you could get Logan Riley to say my name and email it to me? Also, the day you read this on the podcast, it will be my birthday. Love you guys, Luca. Well, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Luca.
I will ask Logan. He has been very busy with the strike lately, but I'll shoot him a message and see if he'll do it. I'll just see if he'll do you like a little hey,
mini cameo. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see. Don't get your hopes up because I know he's busy, but I'll ask.
Okay. All right. Next email's from Kirsten. Hi, Collin and Whitney. It's 16-year-old Kirsten from St. John's, Canada. And this is my first time emailing in. I've been listening to your podcast for about 2 months after searching for an active Stranger Things podcast, which we are, one of the few that are still going.
I know. I don't think there are very many.
Yeah, I think there's another one that does one. I think the last one was like several months ago and like a year before that or something. Yeah. So, but yeah, we're still plugging along. I started watching Stranger Things with my family last October, and as soon as my family bought a Netflix account. I love this show so much, and waiting for season 5 has proved to be so challenging, as all the other seasons were just there when I was ready. Yeah, that must have been nice.
Yeah, we've been there since the beginning, so
Yeah.
we've had. I just remember being shocked after the first season. I was so used to things coming out at the same time, so I was like, "Oh, July of 2016 means July of 2017,"
Right.
and then it didn't come out until October of 2017, and then it didn't come out until
summer of 2019.
Yeah, like July 4th week in 2019.
Yeah.
Like it has ruined me.
Yeah. Last month's episode was very cool, and I enjoyed hearing other people's ideas on some very interesting questions. Concerning potential deaths, I believe no one is safe. For example, Will could die, and yes, it would hurt Joyce so much, but think it through. They could both die, and then the issue would be solved. If Elle died, I think Hopper, Mike, etc. would be so upset. Hopper already lost a daughter, so that would be devastating for him. So I'm not sure they would do that to Hopper. However, I have seen a theory where in order to end the upside down, Elle has to close it on the inside and therefore get stuck there forever. And although that is hard, they can all potentially say their goodbyes. And we as the audience don't have to witness a death, but more of a farewell.
Listen, we're going to put this theory to rest. Okay. You guys keep saying it and you keep saying it, and the duffers are going to get wind of it and they're going to be like, that is a really good idea. And then they're going to do it. So we don't want that to happen. So just reel it back in to your little brains and put it to rest. Elle is not going to have to lock up the upside down and leave everyone forever. Okay. Right. Just, it can't happen.
It'd be kind of poetic, though. It'd be, but yes.
Shut your mouth, Collin.
Do you guys think we will see Angela again? And if so, would Elle use her powers on her to prove her wrong? I find that so satisfying and she makes me so mad. I can't watch the beginning of the California storyline without wanting to punch the TV. And am I the only one who thinks that season 2, episode 7, The Lost Sister, actually works in a way? It isn't my favorite, but I do enjoy that it explores Elle and Kali. I do hope they bring her back. This is because I agree that it is sort of its own standalone episode with no more connections in later seasons. I imagine if they are saving her character for a spinoff or something. They would never do a spinoff.
No, they're not. Like I've seen so many people say they wish they want them to bring Callie back. No.
No. Do we think we'll see Angela again? No, I don't think so, because I don't think we're going to go back to California anymore. I think we're done in California. So it would be kind of fun to, but I
would love to see like Angela see a news broadcast of 11 like being the savior of the town and being like, well, holy shit. Like that'd be like a great little closing shot of the series, like a little bonus scene at the end. Like she's at the mall, like and looks over and sees 11 with Hopper.
Yeah, like an end credits, like Easter egg bonus.
Yes,
so that'd be kind of fun. On to Nancy, says Kirsten. She is the kind of character that is bold and stands out. She is such a strong woman and is a representation of how powerful women are. She is not afraid to use a gun, and she isn't afraid to make herself heard. Losing Barb made her vulnerable for a time. However, losing Barb has made her vulnerable for a time. However, she has in a way overcome that and moved on better than many of the other characters in the show in regards to losing a friend or loved one. My top 3 Nancy moments in no particular order are when she shoots Vecna and falls out the window. Who doesn't like this? Come on. When she and Robin go and talk to Victor Creel in season 4, episode 4, the whole scene was really well done. And number 3, and in season 2, Nancy takes the gun from Hopper and says she can do it after Jonathan refuses. Very subtle yet very powerful. And my number 1. So I'm with you, Kirsten. There are so many great moments. These are just some of the scenes that make me go, yes, Nancy, from Kirsten. Thank you, Kirsten, for writing in. That was great.
Thank you. All right, our next one's from Esme. And she says, hi, Colin and Winnie. It's Esme from England here. I'm very sorry I haven't written for a while. I had end of year exams. Then I went on a holiday to a Greek island called Ithaca. Anyways, on to Nancy Wheeler. I really like Nancy as a character. She is such a badass, and I've always wanted to be like her. However, I think that she's quite annoying in season 1. She's so dismissive of Barb, and I found her quite annoying in the first few episodes. However, she redeemed herself while looking for the Demogorgon with Jonathan. I really love every scene with Nancy and a gun, especially when none of the boys can shoot like her. I hate how annoying she is to Steve at the party and their breakup, but the breakfast scene with Murray and Jonathan is one of my favorite scenes in the series. It cracks me up every time. That is one of Colin's favorites.
It is.
Also, I love her hair in season 2. Yes, Nancy has some good hair. She does. Another one of my favorite moments in the scene is the scene in the place Victor Creel is being kept with Nancy and Robin. I love that scene. I am a proud Stancy shipper, and I really think they might get together, and here's why. Number 1, Steve and his little nuggets. It's clear that the Duffers are pushing a Stancy narrative in this scene. I disagree.
Or teasing us with a Stancy narrative. I don't know if
I feel like it was supposed to prove how like that is not what Nancy wants. Nancy wants to go like travel the world.
Right. Yeah. I think that was kind of a last ditch effort, maybe, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, who knows? Who knows?
Number 2, when Steve wants to go to the library with Nancy as they're leaving Max's trailer park, he clearly wants to protect her and be around her. Oh, I think Steve's still in love with Nancy.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
There are also clear I cannot talk tonight, you guys. There are also clear cracks in Jonathan and Nancy's relationship. They don't go to see each other. Could this be because they're scared to see each other because they know that the relationship isn't going to last? I don't know. That's a good point.
Well, they are also like way far away from each other, but
but Mike was going to see Elle.
True.
Nancy could have gone.
True.
And I would have been more, liable to let both my kids go together so Nancy could watch out, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Good point. Yeah.
And then she says, when they oh my gosh, I cannot talk.
The word is reunite.
When they reunite, Jonathan kisses Nancy on the forehead, a very safe and unassuming place to kiss someone. I mean, they haven't seen each other in months and they won't kiss on the lips. Clear cracks in the relationship. And number 3, they don't talk about their problems. I know they're busy after all this happened, but all the scenes of them rebuilding the house together are super awkward. And if you don't tell your partner your problems, they will find out the wrong way and it won't end well. Oh yeah, that whole scene was like, well, this is awkward.
Yep.
Well done, Whitney, for getting tickets and predicting 1989 Taylor's version. I'm so excited because 1989 is my favorite album and Style is my favorite song ever. What's your favorite 1989 song? Oh gosh, I love that whole album.
I found, and I did, and my brother also did, the Taylor Swift bracket, and I think it was it was it may have been after Folklore, but pre-Evermore. I can't remember, somewhere, or maybe it was even pre-Folklore, but it was basically line up all her songs and then pick your favorites. And it's like it's like a March Madness bracket, blah, 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 and it gets down. And my winner ended up being I Wish You Would from 1989. So that was apparently my favorite song.
I do love that one.
2 a.m. in my car.
Yeah. I love Blank Space a lot. And I know it was like it got wore out on the radio, but that was like my nut. Like I loved it. I also love.
I like Wildest Dreams. What's really,
the Fox one? Is it? It's like they are the hunters. We are.
Yeah, they are the hunters. We are the fox. We run. You're gonna kill me with this. But I like. What's the other one I like? I was just saying it. Wildest Dreams.
I do like Wildest Dreams a lot.
Really like, yeah.
I've been on a I've been listening to Exile on repeat. That one song, Exile, that she does with Bon Iver.
Oh yeah. Oh, that is good.
I love it. Yes, it's not on 1989, but I love that song.
Yeah, that's Folklore. Yeah.
I think it's Folklore. What is that?
I Know Places.
We Run. I Know Places.
I Know Places.
I know places we can hunt. So maybe I Know Places. I don't know. Blank Space. I love them all. I saw that. That was the first Taylor concert I went to. It was 1989. Yeah. And
it's the only one I've been to. Yeah. I thought it was great.
It was just, I saw that and I saw Reputation.
I don't love
Reputation. Was awesome.
I don't love Bad Blood. I watched Reputation on Netflix. I watched the Netflix one.
Oh, I love Bad Blood.
I'm not a huge fan of Bad Blood. And I'm not a huge fan of Shake It Off, but I do like pretty much all the other songs. I mean, I'll listen to it because
well, Shake It Off just got overplayed. I think
it did. Yeah. But I like, Welcome to New York is really good. But yeah, I'm trying to look. I think You Are in Love. I mean, I Wish You Would is my favorite. And then I also like good Lord, I like them all. Out of the Woods is really good.
What's the last song on that album?
New Romantics.
What is it?
New Romantics. Or You Are in Love. Which is great. I love You Are in Love.
Is there one called New Year's Eve?
No.
What's the New Year's Eve one?
I don't know what you're talking about. See, now
the one where she's like, we'll be picking up pictures.
There's Clean, Wonderland, You Are in Love, New Romantics are the last four. I Know Places, This Love. This love is good, this love is bad, this love is a lot back from the dead. Oh.
Yeah.
But
maybe it's on Reputation then.
But You Are in Love is good because it's just, I mean, it's like da 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 da. The whole song is like two notes, up and down and up and it's just.
Well, it kills me that. I guess what was the big song off Reputation that she released first?
Look What You Made Me Do. Oh, right.
Look What You Made Me Do.
Yeah, Look What You Made Me Do.
No, it was What You Made Me Do.
Yeah.
What cracks me up because she sampled the song that's playing for Mean Girls in the background when Katie Heron has the party and she is talking to Aaron and she's like, I just word vomit. And then she's like, no, that's real vomit. That song is playing in the background. And it's when Regina walks into the party and she's like looking.
That's really funny.
It cracks me up.
Are you thinking New Year's Day on Reputation? Is that the New Year's?
Yes.
That's on Reputation. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was sitting there and think, yeah. But I love This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things.
Yes.
Such a great song.
I love that one too.
Okay. Taylor divergence. Yeah. Okay. Last email is from Ellie. Hey, Collin and Whitney, how's life? Mine's fine. Okay. So Nancy's never been one of my favorite characters, but she's still an amazing one. I love her character arc. Her journey from meek little girl to badass queen is incredible to watch. Don't hate me, but I ship her with Jonathan. Like they love each other so much. Season 4 nearly got me to be a Stancy shipper, but yeah, not quite there yet. I just love how everybody watches this show and we all watch the same show and everybody takes whatever they want to.
Yeah.
Out of it. It's just so great. You can interpret things however you want to.
Yeah.
I mean, we just had an email about all the cracks in their relationship. And now Ellie's saying, I just love how in love with each other they are. It's just, I love how everybody can, anyway. So in the Zoom episode, we were talking about underrated and overrated characters. Mm-hmm. So Ellie chimed in on that too. She said, overrated for me, honestly, Argyle. I know, wow, but I never really liked him. I found him a bit annoying, to be honest, and I don't know why. Underrated, I picked Erica and Max, especially Erica. We have all that you can't spell America without Erica stuff, but she doesn't get much recognition for her other moments. I feel things like, isn't it time you were in bed / isn't it time you had died?
She's so mean.
And commence Operation Child Endangerment, plus tons of other stuff. In other news, I started school on September 11th. So yay, I guess. I mean, I'm thrilled. I'm seeing my best friends again, especially since one of the two of them I haven't seen since June. She's been on holiday for the whole summer. And my other best friend, and I really miss her. So great news from Ellie. And she says, bye, Ellie. And we will say, bye, all you guys, because that's all we got for this week.
Well, now Harry's made me nervous. We should have like a Halloween themed episode.
I know,
next
right?
month.
Yeah. So we'll be back on October 12th, right? Is the next one.
Yes.
So we were going to go back to our top 5 series and kind of pick up where we left off. I think it was like 3 or 4 episodes ago, and do our top 3 season 2 episodes, because we already did our top 3 season 1 episodes. But we can also feel free to chime in with any Halloween stuff you guys are doing, or if anybody's dressing up.
Tell me what your favorite, I want to know what everybody's favorite 80s Halloween costume would be. Like if it was the 80s, if you were going trick-or-treating with the Stranger Things kids, what would you dress up as?
And you had unlimited budget and unlimited access to whatever you needed to make it happen.
Yeah.
What would you do? Yeah.
I want to know.
And I'll think of mine and you think of yours, and
Oh, I can share pictures of what I was doing on that Halloween. I think I was a scary clown. I think I was a clown that year.
I did a lot of Star Wars. I remember I was Boba Fett one year with the plastic mask with the elastic and the little slit for your tongue and the eye holes.
Oh yeah, I was obsessed with makeup. I loved and I still do. I love getting my makeup done by someone else. And even when I was little, so I always wanted to be something that you just had to cover my face in makeup, because I just wanted to sit there for 30 minutes before. And so I think I was a clown that year, and my grandma made me, and I look real creepy because my face is like painted completely white. I'll find a picture.
Yeah, I mean, Pinhead would be kind of cool if you could somehow pull that whole look off from.
Is that out yet?
It was in the 80s. What? It had to be the 80s.
Yeah, but I was thinking, are we doing like specific 1984? Or are we just doing 80s?
Well, you said 80s, so I don't know.
Yeah, whatever, just in the 80s.
But anyway, so get your emails to us by Sunday, October 8th on your top 3 season 2 episodes. And then also talk about whatever else you want to talk about too, because why the heck not? So
why not? What else are we doing in this deep, dark void?
I think it's about time, actually. I'll probably watch the show again. I'll probably, get going doing that.
I'm doing a reread of all of Sarah J. Maas's books to get ready for her new book.
When's that?
You should read those.
That's
January 30th.
That's the Throne of Glass and Ice and whatever.
Throne of Glass, and then there's the Throne of Glass,
Roses,
Court of Thorns and Roses, and then there's Crescent City.
Yeah, Gray has them all, so I can never. She keeps giving me books to read, so I just read. What was it called? I shouldn't have even brought it up because I remember what it was. Poop. Talk quietly amongst yourselves, and I got to look up this book. Hang on.
I gotta know. You would like Throne of Glass. Now, ACOTAR gets a little bit into the smutty side of things, but
I tried Outlander at one point because I was kind of interested in the show.
So the guy that's doing Outlander, that did Outlander, is supposedly signed on for the ACOTAR series on Hulu.
Oh, really? The Twisted Ones. That's what it was. Greg gave me.
I haven't heard of that.
Which was pretty good. It was a little slow, and she said it was actually kind of slow. But it's kind of creepy. It's not really scary. It's just kind of mess with your head a little bit, kind of what's going on, kind of supernaturally, kind of weirdness going on. I can't remember who wrote it, but I can look it up real quick. But yeah, so I was kind of interested in the whole time travel bit with Outlander, and but I knew it was very, it was very chick litty, however you want to,
Yeah, that's how I feel like that's how Throne of Glass is definitely more fantasy. And then ACOTAR is more like romantasy, which is more romance than fantasy. There is some romance, like there is some romance in Throne of Glass, but it's not until it's like 8 books. Okay. And there's 2 books that you read at the same time.
Oh, okay.
You like do a tandem read?
Yeah. The Twisted Ones is by T. Kingfisher. So.
Oh, I've read some of it. I don't know if that's a man or woman.
I think it's
a woman.
I think it's a woman. Yeah.
I've read her stuff, and it is kind of slow.
Yeah, but it's good. I mean, it was well written. I mean,
the one I read was about, like, it had a lot of body horror. It was like a weird was creepy.
this
but
this was more kind of mythical creatures in the woods, and where are they and what are they
I think I know
doing?
exactly what book you're talking about.
Yeah.
Actually, it might be on
That's
my
pretty
TV
good.
Red list.
But now she's
okay.
reading Slaughterhouse 5 for English class, so I'm reading that along with her because I never read it when I was a kid or in high
I've
school,
never,
so
I never had to read that.
that's a weird book, man. Jeez Louise.
I've never read it. So.
But anyway, so that's it.
Anyways, that's it. We rambled a lot this episode, but what else are we supposed to do? Okay, listen, just be happy we're here. All right. just be happy you have some Stranger Things content. Okay. As always, you can email us at skipsoypod@gmail.com. You can find us on all the socials. Well, I say all, but it's just Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah.
And it's Skips Hoy Pod. And if you want to join our Discord and talk to other Stranger Things fans, you can find the link to join at the top of our Twitter page. As always, I want to thank everybody for listening, and I hope you tune in next time. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye. Stranger Things audio clips and official score are the property of Netflix. Incidental music by Blue Mount Score from